everyone, this is Harshal Desai from eGov magazine. I welcome you all in this very exclusive session with Mr. Rahul Parthe, who is Chief Technology Officer at TECH5. eGov magazine, as most of you are already aware, is a more than 15-year brand which covers anything and everything related to technology in the governance space. Governance is one of the four core verticals that we cover at Touchless Technology Private Limited. The other three verticals are BFSI, education, and healthcare. We are very glad that today, under the Touchless Innovation Talk series, we have Mr. Rahul Parthe with us, Chief Technology Officer at TECH5. Welcome, Mr. Rahul Parthe.
Thank you, Mr. Harshal, and it's a pleasure to be on the eGov magazine video interview, and look forward to your questions to address the current topic.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our pleasure you took out time from your busy schedule to and agreed to for this exclusive interaction with eGov magazine. So, Mr. Parthe, the first thing which would like to understand from you is, would you please brief us about, on what are the operations of TECH5, what are the activities TECH5 is engaged into, and what are the market TECH5 currently is working in?
Thank you. It's a great question. Let me start with the name itself. The TECH5, the 5 actually is for FI, which means Technology for Inclusion. Okay. As you can see, at the principal level, we are basically focused towards making sure that inclusion is our core principle. And inclusion means that everybody in the society can participate in the programs that we, as the governments have designed for all the people. And by saying that, what we have done is that we have invested and built biometric technologies, and which include facial recognition, fingerprint recognition, and iris recognition that allows us to make sure that every program that is out there can be, made for every person that's out there, in the citizens, yeah. And Aadhaar is a very good example. As you know, that Aadhaar has all three modalities, and this was the reason in the in the design phase where there was consideration given which modality of biometric should be used. Now that said, we as TECH5 are purely a technology provider, and our goal is to build the latest and greatest biometric technologies as the ones that are used in Aadhaar. But at the same time, we are also focused on building disruptive and innovative solutions towards credentialing. What that means is that how do you make sure that you're issuing IDs that everybody in the society can use? As we all know, there is a digital divide, and that has been enhanced because of COVID and is becoming prominent. So we ensure that we build technologies that every person in the society is able to use and take leverage of to improve their standard of living.
Yes. Great. Next thing I would like to ask you, how touchless technologies for fingerprint recognition are different from a classic software hardware approach, and how a new technology can revolutionize fingerprint capturing, enrollment, and recognition process.
Yes. So as we all know, if you go really long back, when fingerprints were captured using an inked fingerprint, you would imprint them on a paper, and that is how all fingerprints started to come into existence. Now what happened is that after that, there was a digital form of fingerprint scanning, which we call as live scans. And I'm sure that most of us have already experienced that technology by way of either a single fingerprint scanner you would use for opening a door, or a 442 fingerprint scanner that you would go for a national ID enrollment, for example, in Aadhaar. Now, you can easily imagine it involves two things. One is a dedicated hardware that is connected to a computer, a phone, or a laptop, and plus it involves the touch. Yeah, you have to touch something. Now, it's very easy to imagine that because of this, there is a lot of logistical issues that you have to face. Make sure that the device is available. People have to come to the device. And then you have the traditional issues of supply chain management, supporting the infrastructure, and so on. In the meanwhile, what was happening, and again, this is something that's not new, is that the mobile phone or cell phone technology has been exponentially growing. Yeah, and when I say growing, not only in terms of penetration, everybody has a phone, almost everybody has a phone.
Yes.
And not only does it have a phone, it's very powerful. Today's phones are as good as you would have a laptop, let's say a decade ago. And not only that, do they have a very, great processing power, but they also come with integrated high-end cameras.
Yes.
So, for example, really high resolution with a flash and autofocus, and one was not enough. Now phones are putting 4 or 5 of them on single phone. Um, Now, what we took into consideration the facts that the previous challenges that were posed by the connected devices and infrastructure, and the touch limitation, that why don't we leverage this powerful device that you have in your hand and use that to capture fingerprints. And as you can imagine, it's a no-brainer, because once you have the capability of capturing fingerprints using a cell phone or a mobile phone, you've suddenly opened up the avenues to get larger access to the technology. Now anybody anywhere can be in a position to basically take or buy a medium range to a high-end phone, which is very common today, and start capturing fingerprints. Of course, this is to be tied with some program or what have you. But by achieving this, what we have solved is A, the problem of distribution. B is major and let's say grassroots access to the technology. And C, which actually became evident from the COVID pandemic, is to avoid any kind of touch.
Right. Great to understand all these elements. What are the latest innovation, other innovations that Tech5 is coming up with? And when we say that we are coming up with some innovation, research and development becomes very important thing. So I would also request you if you can brief us how R&D is also evolved within Tech5 to ensure you continue bringing new innovations for the industry.
Thank you. So TECH5 at the core is a technology provider, yeah, and it was formed by people who are experienced with this field of biometrics and identity management for a long time. I was personally involved from day one of Aadhaar, so I have seen Aadhaar grow from literally nothing to what it is today. And all my co-founders and people that work for TECH5 come from similar experiences. Now, that said, as you can imagine, I've been stressing on the fact that we are a biometric technology provider and secure credentialing. So we take this, vision of making the technology available for everybody very seriously. And in that line, what we do is we are investing into building this and improving these technologies. Now, as you may have heard, that there is a new revolution called AI and machine learning. And we cannot stay behind. What we did is that we took that concepts of AI and machine learning and have taken those and implemented them in biometrics. So we have biometrics. There is a obvious benefit because of these technologies or the approach of machine learning. The technologies have been outperforming the traditional approaches. So what was seen as a exponential growth in accuracy and performance in facial recognition technology is now the basic principle that motivates us to also use that in the other technologies like fingerprints and iris. We have already achieved world top tier ranking in facial recognition, which is benchmarked by NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is under Department of Commerce. And everybody in the industry knows that That is the World Cup of biometrics. It is where you show who or how good you are. Now we took that success and our knowledge in that particular approach and applied that to fingerprints. We have done something and we have very groundbreaking results recently that our fingerprint technology is also showing great promising results in line with fingerprint or face recognition technology. Now, what is the impact? Basically, what it does is that it gives you equal or better accuracy, but reduces your total cost of operation by a factor of 6 to 7. Imagine Aadhaar spending less than a fifth of their money that they spend on the hardware that is used. Yeah, and when I say hardware, is the data centers for matching and for recognition purposes. So what we have done is that with these advancements, we are soon looking to claim to be the world's fastest and the most accurate fingerprint matching technology, which augmented with our already successful facial recognition, and then we are working towards iris to make it let's say the top solution for fingerprint recognition in the market. Recognize. Now, machine learning does the same. It basically, by way of learning and continuously updating the algorithms, actually starts to learn all the possibilities that can happen. Now, there is a fundamental limit. Yeah, if I do plastic surgery and if I literally start to look like Tom Cruise, nobody in the world can recognize me. And same is true for any biometric. If the fundamental biometrics has changed totally, basically, if somebody put their finger in acid, or because of age, everything is basically wiped out, then it won't matter. But something like lacerated fingers or aging will be handled very accurately with this technology. And that is our mission again. When we say we are inventing and disrupting, there are not only problems of solving the problems in ideal conditions, but also to make sure that the technology works in non-ideal conditions. It's a race to zero error in non-ideal conditions.
Right, right. Uh, Moving ahead, in times of COVID, we have seen, we have seen in offices, even in Mumbai, even in secretariat across this country, uh, they had they were trying to avoid touching the fingerprint, touching the biometric equipment, right? So, what I want to ask you, how can contactless technologies be leveraged worldwide for continuity of business, even in times of COVID pandemic, and while keeping people's personal data also secure?
Yeah. So you won't believe it that actually this approach towards touchless technology started before the pandemic, and we were trying hard to explain to people why it is important. And unfortunately, COVID happened, and now it is very prominent and issue, and everybody has understand the value of touchless. Yeah, although that was not the basic motive, it is a good, let's say, side effect of the technology. Face, as you know, was already touchless. You never had to touch anything. Fingerprint was the required touch. Iris was also touchless. Now with this technology, which not only helps liberate the capture technology and make it available for everybody, the touchless concept actually makes sure that God forbid if there was another pandemic, we are already used and we have something readily available. Let's make sure that the technology is available to capture the biometrics safely. Now, what I would stress on is that this does not impact any of the regulatory policies or security policies. They stay in place. What we are just doing is changing a scanner to a touchless technology, and at the back end, we are saying let's use the revolutionary AI ML based matching algorithms that still work with the old and the new technology, by the way. They are basically interoperable. And by this, we ensure that not only are we making it available for everybody, but we follow the security and regulatory policies to ensure that people's data is securely handled and privacy and security is not breached.
Right. Now, how can you already have spoken briefly about artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, cloud, etc. According to you, how can emerging technologies like this, AI, ML, IoT, and cloud, be leveraged to strengthen the entire contactless technology infrastructure? And what are the
Right.
challenges that you see in this approach?
Right. So I think there are more pros than cons in the approach. And as I said, the problem has to be solved from two ends. It's not only just improving the capture technology, it's also about, how do you accurately match those fingerprints? And at the same time, we cannot just go and, just turn everything upside down. We also have to harmoniously work with the traditional systems. So what we are doing when we are developing these technologies, using especially machine learning and AI, we are building technologies that can work with the existing data that you have, and at the same time adopt the new emerging concepts, in not only in capture but other let's say facets of IT. Yeah. So imagine that tomorrow, if Aadhaar decides to go all contactless, it does not mean that we have to discard the 1.3 billion people data that we have. It always has to work with backward compatibility. And we are fully confident that technologies that we are developing can easily do that. Now, eventually, we will see a great progress in all these technologies come together. When I say all, as in AI, ML, touchless, IoT, and you probably have seen these futuristic videos, and actually, it's not even futuristic. That you would walk into a grocery store, pick up stuff, and just walk out. You will not have to do any kind of touch, contact, or payment, and everything will be handled pretty much seamlessly. And this is where I see the combination of cloud infrastructure, IoT devices, with fingerprint capture, touchless, because you would just wave your hand, and then all the accurate matching technologies to ensure that neither your privacy or your security is breached, and it is a very frictionless experience.
Right. Which are the countries probably you would be focusing a lot in, let's say, 5 years down the line?
So TECH5 is a global company, and we have customers right from Latin America all the way to Far East, and India is also our crown jewel. We have a lot of team in India. We find pride by nature because one of the co-founders is Indian.
Okay.
So we focus on India, but I kind of did not answer your previous question about the verticals. So we are in government sector, we are in private sector, we also serve the law enforcement and military. Because anywhere where you can use biometrics, either for helping the life of a citizen or improving security, one or the other way, we play a role. And by that, we say is the countries that we focus is pretty much global. Yeah, we are just everywhere, and we work with our partners, and mostly our customers are governments, banks. You mentioned fintech. Yes, eKYC solutions. So anywhere you see a facial recognition, a fingerprint concept, we are there. Yeah, we are there to serve our partners.
Right. How TECH5 is planning the further development of the technology and its implementation?
So, as I have previously mentioned, we take the vision of the company to make technologies available and inclusive very seriously. So, we keep investing in this.
Right.
And we believe that the potential in artificial intelligence and machine learning has not fully been exploited. There's always room. That's why it's called research and development. And what we are going to do is not, keep focusing on just making sure that we can capture and match better fingerprint technologies. But we have a new concept called mobile ID, which basically also replaces and can replace a smart card based solution and make sure that you'll never have to carry a physical ID in your pocket. Your phone will have everything you would need. Example, your health card, your bus ticket, your bank card, and everything. Yeah, you don't have to waste as a program on plastic cards and chips. This also helps with sustainability and as well as environment friendly solutions because it has to be all electronic. And at the same time, what we keep stressing on is that the solutions that we will keep building will be meant for every tier of the society. It won't be a solution that is for the elites or only privileged ones. We will make it so that people who are in every tier who have or do not have digital skills, your grandmother should be able to use it, and or you should be able to use it. And by way of that, what we keep doing is that we are investing in all the facets or let's say components of the technology that are required to ensure that the identity solutions are acceptable and available and frictionless, secure, and private to every person in the society.
Right. So, do you think we are making the most of touchless technologies in India? Are there sectors which are lagging behind and where you see scope for these technologies more?
Yeah, so if I get your question right, yes, I think every sector that, as I said, would involve fingerprints will be able to use this technology or can use it. We are experimenting it at and actually running it with customers in other parts of the world. So it could be from law enforcement to criminal investigation. If you find a latent print at the crime scene, it could be eKYC, opening a bank account sitting at home, not only based on face, but also fingerprints. You can, basically hit the Aadhaar database to check if this is who he is, the person is. And, you would have it in social subsidies and, any other welfare programs where
Right.
you would have to go door to door. Now, the last point that I would mention by way of designing disruptive technologies, which work in non-ideal conditions, I literally intend to say that you would be able to go to some forest in Orissa and should still be able to deliver your service based on biometrics without having to have the need to connect to any backend system in the world. And I'm talking about capture. I'm talking about remote matching and doing one-to-one match based on the mobile ID technology.
Right. Great, Mr. Rahul Parthe, Chief Technology Officer at TECH5, for this exclusive conversation. And we really appreciate you taking time out. Any message that you would like to give to the industry people, probably your customers or your potential customers?
Yes, thank you for the time and thank you for giving me the opportunity. I would like to make a closing comment. Basically, TECH5 is a company that was formed by veterans who have been in this field. And what we are also hinting to the industry and then the customers is that AI is the revolution. And I don't have to tell this; everybody knows it, and we believe in it, and we have actually already invested and proven that with these advancements, within a very short period of time we will have very good results, and we are already looking at them. And what we are educating our partners and customers is that they should start looking at these new approaches, not only from a cost saving perspective, because it does that, but also from enhancement of accuracy and user experience. Because at the end of the day, it boils down to, who are you serving? If your customers, which are the citizens, are happy, and if they are liking the experience and not worried about their security and privacy, I mean, that is your ultimate goal. And what we are trying to say is that, we are here, we are the experts, and while we are building this relationship with all our customers and partners, we would like to take the opportunity of saying this loud and clear on eGov, that we are a top tier player in the world, and we are happy to talk to anybody who's interested in exploring these advancements in biometric technologies.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul Parthe. We wish you all the best, and we really wish that you come up with a lot of innovations, touchless technologies, and continue serving customers across the world. Thank you so much for this exclusive conversation.
Introducing the T5 Mobile ID, a TECH5 product that lets you verify your identity securely and quickly in a variety of use cases. Imagine being able to legally confirm your identity anywhere and at any time with just the use of your phone. With the T5 Mobile ID, all you need is a picture of your face and a picture of your fingers. Then, you can add copies of all manner of documents that will be secured and encrypted in a high-definition T5 cryptograph that can be accessed only by you or people authorized by you. The T5 Mobile ID can live on your phone and can be presented to individuals requiring confirmation of your identity. Otherwise, you can print out a copy of your T5 cryptograph to hand to someone. There is never any need for an internet connection to present your T5 cryptograph. The information on the T5 cryptograph can be quickly read only by authorized individuals that have the software to read it and can capture an image of you at the time they need to verify your identity. Imagine having your entire identity in your pocket that you can take with you virtually anywhere you go. The T5 Mobile ID has innumerable applications. For example, the information on the T5 Mobile ID can be used to grant you access into a building. It can be used to verify your identity when you use an ATM machine. Whether to withdraw cash, make a deposit, or make a transfer. You can even use your T5 Mobile ID at the airport. When you go through security, now all you need is your T5 cryptograph, your face, and your fingers. Your T5 cryptograph even makes boarding a plane more convenient. The agent will simply read the T5 cryptograph and compare your face along with that of an image on a database. The T5 cryptograph also removes the uncertainty of forgetting or losing your documents, or worse yet, having them stolen, both of which have a greater risk of happening when you are traveling and increases with frequency of travel. Take your T5 cryptograph to help eliminate fraud and deception during business transactions. The T5 mobile ID can be used to authenticate the documents themselves, ensuring a legitimate and uncomplicated transaction. The T5 mobile ID gives you the peace of mind to have easy, secure, and uninterrupted access to all of the information you need to let people know who you are and instills in others the confidence needed to conduct business with you. The T5 mobile ID is secure, cost-efficient, ensures your privacy, and can be tailored to meet individual needs. Your identity in your pocket, brought to you by TECH5 Technology for Inclusion.